Okay, hello you three.
Hi, thank you. Hi.
I really want to congratulate you to being awarded this amazing prize. I mean, it's also connected to 10,000 euros each, so this is also quite showing you how your work is appreciated, also globally, what they mentioned in the report about you. So my main question at first is, how do you feel now after being awarded, getting the prize?
Yeah, feeling great. It's really a lot of money and we feel very honored to be here and also to have the chance to present our work to this audience. And I'm very happy, particularly because my project has also been financed by Dr. Iceland and by the Iceland Foundation. I'm very happy that they value it so highly now. It's great.
For me, actually, the most amazing moment was when I received this letter.
Yeah,
I was in the mail, and then I came home, and this was this letter. And it was just an amazing feeling to get this kind of recognition, because in research, the recognition you get is always maybe by publicizing a paper, but in between is very little where people say, "This is excellent." Yeah, and so now getting this letter was a very great moment. True.
No, I think they have already said, they have already talked about the feelings. Like, it's great, you know, when you feel that you do hard work and then you get the award, and then it's you know the feeling, you know. It's great. It inspires you to do more, go further, you know. So this is the kind of feeling I have, and I'm happy that, you know, this kind of work has been shared, because also forum, we have a forum, it's been shared, and my hope is that, you know, it has an impact. You know, people look at it and on the field, especially in Malawi, policymakers, my hope is that they take that on, do something targeting Malawi.
Yeah, and I think the full room really showed that what you did is appreciated, and I think also you inspired a lot of people today. Okay, and the last question. Was there something really astonishing during your research coming up that really inspired you on the one hand, or is there something you would really like to share with other people, apart from just the result of your work?
Yeah, so I was researching how farmer groups were helping women in women's agriculture, because women are so central to food production in Kenya. They're essentially feeding the family. And I was wondering whether this commercialization and intensification has an effect on that. And then I realized these farmer groups can really be a very powerful tool to help women sustain their rights over production, over food production, because it really is all about entitlements. And so women in Kenya don't have ownership for land, for example. But this membership in the women's name, I thought, really made a difference, whether this banana income was seen as something that belongs to the woman just because her name was in the membership list. I think that was pretty strong and should be used and further researched in the future, whether this is just the case in Kenya or maybe it happens also in other countries.
Very powerful.
For me, it was more astonishing now after I finished the research how the technology is being taken up. Because during my stay at Summit, they were a little bit reluctant. I mean, of course, there was research money and there was support and everything, but breeders were a little bit reluctant to take it up because they had been with their traditional methods for years and decades. And so it's really great for me to see now, but also what I showed, that the tropicalized inducers are like promoted on the website now, and that the technology is being taken to different continents and to different breeding stations. And this is for me really a reward. This is really great to see now.
It's not really, you know, something that is, you know, something that is exceptional also. But it's like when you are doing research, especially, you know, graduate level research, it's good to share your papers, you know, in terms of, you know, publications, in terms of like submit your papers, you know, for review while you are in the process, because when you get some feedback, it enriches you, it enriches what you are doing. It's you know, it opens your mind, you know, look at the things in this direction. So it gives you this kind of it gives you the confidence that you are doing something, so people are interested in that. You see, the other thing is also my supervisor. He has been a very great leader, a very great leader or supervisor, leading me, especially he inspires me when you read my draft. Read it, he makes a very good comment, and then that inspires me. And that's what I really like, in him, because that's what just drives me and continue, and persevere. So these are really good things that I think help when you are doing research.
Also really helpful to push each other and to support each other.
If you are in a group, like in a team.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, hope you have a good evening.
Thank you.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah, all right. And so what's your future path of career? What are you now doing?
Okay, so I'm working at the International Food Policy Research Institute, which is based in Washington, D.C. I'm, however, based in Accra, Ghana. So if we, as a big research agenda, even that, they also have, also has, country offices where they work directly with policymakers and they conduct policy research. So what I'm doing is that I'm working at the country level, working with policymakers, looking at, what is going on in terms of research in different areas, but also communicating, the result of research so that it can lead to action. So that's basically what I'm doing now. We are working on a range of topics. If I start now, so it won't end. So the research development related issues.
So I'm working now in the private sector, and for the reason that I wanted to see how these 500 million smallholders can be reached large scale, because companies really look at this as a market and not as a development initiative. So they have to develop business models that reach these 500 million farmers, and I want to make sure that this is done in a sustainable way that helps the farmers, and it's just not there to create further dependencies. And this is what I'm particularly interested in. So for now, I decided to join the private sector, which doesn't mean that I will be there forever. But for now, this is like my research project, is to learn what the private sector is doing in this area.
It's very similar to me. I also joined a private plant breeding company. I'm a potato breeder now in northern Germany. And I enjoy it very much. It was also my interest to see how the private sector works in plant breeding, because we always hear that it's much more efficient and much more focused, so that was very interesting to me. But I am lucky to have a program on plant genetic resources. I'm working on pre-breeding, that's using wild species of potato, and so it is still related to my interest of genetic resources.
Cool. So will we soon have colorful potatoes in Germany again?
Sure, why not?
So thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.